Human beings had a tragic vision. They longed to scale the heavens, yet they realized that they could only do this if they faced up to their mortality, left a safe world behind, descended into the depths, and died to their old selves. Mythology and its accompanying rituals helped Paleolithic people to move from one stage of life to another, in such a way that when death finally came, it was seen as the last and final initiation to another, totally unknown mode of being. This early insight was never lost, but continued to guide men and women when they embarked on the next great revolution of human history. I just quoted Karen Armstrong in her book A Short History of Myth. Karen Armstrong is an author and commentator known for her work on religions. In this book, she weaves together information from anthropologists, ethnologists, and archaeologists who studied Pygmies, Australian Aborigines, and other hunter-gatherer societies to piece together the importance of mythology in the life of the Paleolithic man. As human beings' cognitive ability increased, they proceeded to search for meaning in the world around them. However, the myths of their lives were not simply children's tales, entertainment, or legend. The stories and symbology fulfilled practical purpose. Most mythologies had their own version of paradise, or, in the case of Australian Aborigines, dream time. Here the ancestors guarded a perfect world. Whether it be a mountain, a pole, or a tree that connected the world to the world of today, the physical world, something caused it to be severed. Through the instructions of the ancestors, man could hope to go back to harmony. In the case of the Australian Aborigine, the hunter goes out to hunt, trying to closely emulate the movements of the first hunter. This can be seen as a collective consciousness that allowed survival, a mental archive of useful and essential information. Everyday tasks like basket weaving, hunting, gathering, sex, and child rearing were viewed as holy routes to paradise. And in most cultures, the sky was associated with the divine, something higher. A great expanse, a great god of creation. This god was usually unintelligible, intangible, and unknowable. This god usually served as an explanation for the existence of the world, both evident and overwhelming. The sky god, although responsible for creating most everything, is said to have disappeared. Looking at it through the distorted lens of the present, it can be said that our Paleolithic ancestors invented and used mythology to be okay with the existential crisis of mortality, and the hunter's psychological ambivalence towards the killing of animals, particularly mammals, that were viewed as brothers and sisters by the people of that time. For the pain felt by an animal was very close to the pain felt by man. The existence of shamans came into play. A shaman was said to be able to speak to animals, and oftentimes bargain with the gods. When drought or famine occurred, the shaman would be sent out as an emissary. In the Paleolithic world, a hunter, a woman, a shaman was made to go through initiations that would help them face their fears. The facing of your fears was symbolic for death, facing the reality of death. Even stones, with their solidity and permanence, had spiritual relevance in the Paleolithic world. Eating, breathing, and simple routine tasks were explained as homages to the gods or ancestors, and they were all routes to paradise. However, to view the Paleolithic man as naive and superstitious or self-serving is a distortion of those people's truths. For the men and women of the time, these myths were more real than the physical world. The role of spirituality, even today, cannot be diminished because of secular biases. Logic and the divine can work in tandem. The Paleolithic man created weapons and tools using logic, but willpower and moral reasoning helped him survive. It gave the women the courage to give birth in dangerous circumstances, and hunters the courage to explore. Myths propelled the human race forward. Myths helped create a bridge between life and death, and they gave people purpose. They gave people a future.